Konoha Records room, the alarms began to blare. Naruto was running. I was running with him. He kept his face covered as several shinobi chased after him through the corridors. Then I saw what he was carrying, a worn file. The Nine Tails attack. You're probably wondering how we ended up here. Let me take you back. The forest was alive with the sound of training. Wind tore through the trees. Water crashed against the earth. Kunai struck wooden targets. And everywhere I looked, there was another Naruto. Some were practicing techniques, some were fighting. Others were running through the trees, repeating the same movements again and again. At the center of it all stood the original. He wasn't watching from the sidelines. He was directing everything. One group had been assigned wind bullets. Another was working on water prison. Others were focused on chakra control and the techniques that demanded it. He had already learned the releases themselves. Now he wanted his clones to master what could be done with them. I watched one of the wind bullet groups attempt the technique. The first attempt was unstable. The compressed wind dispersed before reaching the target. The clone disappeared. And the moment it did, the memory returned to him. He paused. His eyes shifted toward the remaining clones. He understood what had gone wrong. Then he created another. Lower the compression. The new clone nodded and returned to the group. They tried again. This time the projectile held together. It struck the target cleanly, another success, but he didn't stop. He simply moved on. Across the clearing, the water prison group was having its own problems. One clone formed the technique correctly, but lost control of it moments later. It disappeared. The original Naruto received the memory. He immediately created another clone. Don't force the chakra through it. The replacement joined the others. They adjusted, they tried again and again. The forest continued to fill with the sounds of their failures and successes. I had seen Naruto train before, but never like this. He wasn't simply using shadow clones to do more work. He was using them to learn faster. While they experimented with ninjutsu, he trained himself. The clone stepped forward. Naruto drew his katana, their blades met. The first exchange was quick. The clone forced him backward. Naruto adjusted his footing, they clashed again. This time Naruto adapted. Then the clone changed its attack. Naruto changed with it. After several exchanges, he dismissed the sword. Another clone stepped forward. This time they fought hand-to-hand, punches, blocks, footwork, counters. Neither of them treated it like a game. But Naruto wasn't angry either. He was enjoying himself. Every mistake gave him something to improve. Every successful exchange gave him something new to test. Above them, several clones were already moving up and down the trees. I watched them carefully. They moved across the trunks and branches with complete control. Then one by one their work was finished. The clones disappeared. Naruto dismissed the clone he had been training with, then walked toward a large tree. He climbed it effortlessly. Reaching a branch, he hung upside down for a moment. A genuine smile appeared on his face. I hadn't seen that smile since the day he finally succeeded with the explosive shadow clones. He dropped lightly to the ground. By then the other groups had finished as well. One by one they disappeared. Their experiences returned to him. Naruto sat beneath the trees and closed his eyes, giving himself a moment to process everything they had learned. When he finally opened his eyes, he tested every skill they had been practicing. Everything worked. Naruto reached into his equipment pouch. He pulled something out, a seal. I had seen him use sealing techniques before, but not this one. He unfolded it carefully. I moved closer. Whatever he had been preparing for all morning. This was the next step. And judging by the way he looked at that seal, I knew it wasn't another training exercise. The village was settling into evening. As Naruto walked through the streets, he overheard two civilians. You heard that blonde kid stopped Mizuki. A dead last academy student defeated a Chunin. Something doesn't add up. Naruto heard every word. He didn't react. He simply glanced toward the Hokage monument. I'll show them. Then he continued home. Later that night, Naruto stood atop a rooftop overlooking the Konoha Records room. I stood beside him. The building itself wasn't particularly impressive. Just another archive facility tucked away among the village offices. But Naruto watched it as if every detail mattered: guards, patrol routes, windows, entrances. He watched everything patiently, carefully. For several minutes he didn't move at all. I folded my arms. What new problem are you trying to get yourself into now? Eventually he seemed satisfied. Without making a sound, Naruto slipped from the rooftop and disappeared into a narrow alley beside the building. I followed. The seal appeared in his hand. The same seal he had spent the entire morning training for. Naruto pressed it against the shadow cast by the records room. For a moment nothing happened. Then the darkness shifted. The building's shadow stretched unnaturally across the alley floor. The blackness climbed around Naruto's feet, his legs, his body. Like he was being pulled beneath the surface of dark water, and then Naruto stepped forward, straight into the shadow itself. His body sank into the darkness, until nothing remained. He simply disappeared. I stared at the empty alley. For a second, only one thought crossed my mind: what the fuck? Then I moved. Passing directly through the wall of the records room, I entered the building. Whatever Naruto had just done, I was going to find out. The records room was far larger than I expected. Rows of shelves stretched into the darkness. Cabinets lined the walls. Narrow hallways branched in every direction. For several minutes I searched through them, one room, then another, no sign of him. I was beginning to wonder if I had somehow lost him already. Then I heard it. A faint metallic sound, small, brief, but loud enough to stand out against the silence. I turned immediately. A nearby guard heard it too. He changed direction and started walking toward the source. I followed. The guard searched the corridor carefully, behind shelves, inside corners, between cabinets. He looked everywhere. For a moment, I thought he had found something, then he stopped, looked around one final time, and left. The second he disappeared around the corner, Naruto dropped silently from the ceiling. I froze. He had been directly above the guard the entire time. For a moment, I simply stared at him. Then I caught his thoughts too close. One mistake and it's over. Naruto adjusted the black cloth covering the upper half of his face, waited, counted several seconds in silence, then continued moving. I followed. As he passed through the next corridor, another thought reached me. One clone gets discovered. The whole plan falls apart, so that was why no shadow clones, no shortcuts, no distractions. He was searching the entire facility by himself, room after room, shelf after shelf, cabinet after cabinet. The process was painfully slow. Several times he entered the wrong archive. Several times he found records completely unrelated to what he wanted. But he never rushed. Every dead end simply sent him toward the next hallway, the next room, the next cabinet. Until eventually he stopped. The labels here were different, older. Historical archives. Naruto's eyes narrowed. This was the section he had been looking for. He began searching again, years, dates, records. Then finally, 12 years ago. A small smile appeared beneath the mask. Now he knew he was close. The next part went much faster. He already knew the month, October. The month of the Nine-Tails attack. He opened the first cabinet, then the second, then the third. Files filled every shelf: mission reports, witness statements, administrative records, investigation summaries. Everything connected to that month. Naruto pulled out a storage scroll and began working, not one file, not two, all of them. Anything connected to October. Anything connected to the attack. One by one, the files disappeared into the storage scroll: before the attack, during the attack, after the attack. Minutes passed. The shelves gradually emptied. I watched in growing confusion. He wasn't searching for a specific report. He was taking everything. Every October file he could find. What are you looking for? Naruto didn't answer. He couldn't hear me. And even after reading his thoughts, I still didn't understand what he hoped to find inside those records. Eventually, he tied the scroll shut. The shelves were almost empty, mission complete, almost. His eyes drifted toward a final file resting deeper inside the cabinet, and he paused. Then reached for it. The file slid free. Naruto turned to seal it inside the scroll, and the alarms began to blare. The sound echoed through the entire records room. Naruto froze. Only one thought reached me. I activated a hidden trap. The alarm began to blare. A harsh metallic scream echoed through the records room. For half a second nobody moved. Then the entire building erupted into motion. Naruto ran. The file-filled scroll vanished into his pouch as he sprinted from the archive room. I followed immediately. Behind us, voices exploded through the hallways. Intruder. He's heading east. Don't let him reach the exit. Naruto didn't look back. The corridor blurred around him, shelves, cabinets, doorways. Every turn had already been memorized, or at least it had been. Then a voice crackled through a radio somewhere behind us. Lock the building down. Naruto's eyes widened. A second later, heavy metal slammed into place somewhere ahead than another. The entire records room shook. The building was sealing itself shut. Naruto rounded the next corner, stopped. The steel barrier had already dropped across the exit. For a brief moment, he stared at it. Then he turned away, no hesitation, no panic, just calculation. The original plan was gone, so he made a new one. Two shadow clones appeared beside him in small bursts of smoke. Naruto gave a quick hand signal, the clones nodded, and vanished into the maze of shelves. I didn't understand what he was doing, but apparently the Chunin did. Several of them charged past our position moments later. Then suddenly water exploded from the floor. A massive prison of water formed around the lead pursuers. The Chunin cursed as they found themselves trapped inside the sphere, not defeated, not beaten, delayed 5 seconds, maybe 10, but in a chase. That was everything. Naruto was already moving again. The further he ran, the more desperate the pursuit became. Wind bullets tore through wooden shelves. Archive cabinets crashed into the floor. Broken planks and scrolls scattered across the hallways. He wasn't fighting. He was reshaping the battlefield. Every obstacle bought another few seconds. Every second brought him closer to escape, then boom. A burst of chakra exploded from beneath his feet. Naruto was thrown backward. His shoulder smashed into a cracked wall. Fragments of stone rained onto the floor. For the first time since the alarm began. He looked surprised, too close. The thought flashed through his mind before he pushed himself back up. The footsteps were getting louder. He couldn't stay here, so he ran again, and this time he headed upward, the stairs, the upper floors, the roof. At least that's what everyone believed. He's going up, cut him off. The message spread instantly. More Chunin repositioned. More Shinobi climbed toward the rooftops. Naruto never slowed. Never corrected them. Never gave away the truth. And that was when I realized something. The roof had never been his destination, it was theirs. The realization had barely settled when the side of the records room exploded. Stone shattered outward. Smoke flooded the street. The alarms were still screaming. For a moment, nobody could see anything. Then Naruto appeared, and another and another. Soon they were everywhere. Dozens of Narutos burst from the smoke and scattered through the village, across rooftops, across streets, across alleys. The Chunin split apart immediately. Every squad chasing a different target. One Naruto was caught smoke. Another was cornered smoke, another tackled smoke. Everywhere I looked, the same thing happened. The village wasn't chasing Naruto anymore. It was chasing ghosts. The more clones they caught, the less they understood. And somewhere inside the confusion, the real Naruto disappeared. Then everything went quiet, no alarms, no shouting, no pursuit. Just a narrow alley, a dumpster, and me waiting. Minutes passed. Eventually the lid shifted, Naruto climbed out. Dust covered his clothes. His breathing was heavier now, but he was alive. The real one had never been among the clones. Without a word, he removed the black infiltration clothing, the disguise, the mask. Every trace of the operation. A small flame appeared in his hand. The evidence burned quickly. When the fire died, nothing remained. The hidden base was dark when he returned. The scroll landed on the table. Then the October file. For a moment he simply stood there, staring. Then the exhaustion finally won. Naruto collapsed onto the couch. His eyes closed almost instantly. And the dream faded, darkness.
A figure leans back in the chair, staring at the screens.